At 9:27 a.m. on March 24, 2015, an Airbus A320-211 operated by Germanwings, en route from Barcelona to Dusseldorf, contacted the Marseille en route control center. Everything seemed normal. The captain confirmed clearance with the controller at 9:30, acknowledging the route to the next waypoint. But minutes later, something went wrong. The aircraft's altitude had dropped to 30,000 feet, nearly 2,000 feet below its assigned cruise altitude, and it was still descending. Marseille attempted to reach the plane, asking about the aircraft's altitude. No response. They tried again. Still no answer. They also contacted a French air defense controller in another aircraft, but each time, silence. At 9:40, radar contact was lost. Marseille declared a distress phase, indicating imminent danger and the need for immediate assistance. At 9:41 a.m., Germanwings Flight 9525 crashed into a mountain in the French Alps. The crash site was remote, and rescue teams had to be flown in by helicopter. The plane was completely destroyed, with a vast debris field of small parts. Later that week, both the cockpit voice recorder and flight data recorder were found, though damaged. When investigators examined the data, they discovered a chilling truth. The plane was hijacked, but not by terrorists. The hijacker was one of the crew members. Let's rewind. After leveling off at cruising altitude, the captain left the cockpit at 9:30 to use the bathroom. The moment he stepped out, the co-pilot made a fateful decision. He altered the plane's altitude. By 9:34, when the captain returned and tried to enter the cockpit, he found the door locked. He called, waited. No answer. The captain realized the co-pilot had locked him out and was now in control of the plane. Since 2001, cockpit doors have been reinforced to prevent hijackers from entering. Now, a crew member must request entry via the intercom, and the pilot can unlock the door remotely. There's also an emergency code, which opens the door for 5 seconds. But if the door is locked intentionally, the pilot can override any access. That's exactly what the co-pilot did. The door stayed locked, and the plane began descending. At 9:39, the cockpit voice recorder captured violent banging against the door. The captain was trying to break in, but the reinforced door held firm. He had no control, and the plane continued its descent. As the plane fell, the passengers, crew, and captain understood they were going down. None survived. 144 passengers, 4 cabin crew members, and both pilots. Among the passengers was an entire school class returning from a field trip to Spain. The captain, Patrick Sondenheimer, was 34 and a father of 2. He had thousands of flight hours and fought desperately to save the plane. The co-pilot, Andreas Lubitz, was 27. From a young age, he was passionate about flying. He had posters of Airbus, Boeing, and Lufthansa in his bedroom and became an expert glider pilot. Lubitz joined Lufthansa's flight academy after school, but hit a serious obstacle when he suffered a deep depressive episode. He spent months in psychiatric care and was later declared fit to fly after being deemed in remission. But Lubitz's mental health issues resurfaced. He believed he was going blind, visiting multiple doctors who found nothing wrong. He was diagnosed with hypochondriacal disorder and emergent psychosis, but refused treatment. In January 2015, Lubitz returned to the psychiatrist who had treated him in the past, receiving more therapy and medication. Despite sick notes from doctors saying he was unfit to fly, he continued working. Just 4 days before the crash, Lubitz researched how to lock the cockpit door. On the outbound flight to Barcelona, he tested the descent function. On the return flight, he used it to bring down the plane. How could this happen? Pilots undergo regular health screenings, but mental health is often overlooked. Pilots are expected to self-report issues, but Lubitz chose not to. If a pilot poses a danger to public safety, doctors are supposed to report them. But no one did in Lubitz's case. Why? We may never know. Doctors might have believed he was a danger to himself, but not to others. Or maybe they feared breaching confidentiality, as mental health privacy is highly valued in Germany. What's clear is that incidents like this are rare. In the aftermath of the crash, the European Aviation Safety Agency proposed stricter regulations, and airlines adopted a two-person cockpit rule. Lufthansa phased out this rule recently. In 2015, Germanwings was rebranded as Eurowings, a decision made before the crash. Lufthansa compensated the families, but no amount of money can heal their losses. Their pain is immeasurable.